What's happening out there, guys? Hey, had some interesting ideas that I put together through the years, and I get calls all the time asking me what I think about certain people's things. And I believe that overall, everybody has something good. You know, they have a missing piece of that puzzle, if you will. You know, once you've looked through, you know, all of these things that you're running into, all these processes that people say to do, you know, from, you know, authenticating your birth certificate to the passport, you know, getting back on dry land, you know, not being a U.S. citizen, you know, all of these things are pieces of the puzzle. Some people have pieces of the puzzle that no one else has, you know, and I can mention a few, and I'm sure you know who they are. And there's just so many people that have a missing piece of the puzzle. The puzzle is so huge. If you do enough research, it'll make you crazy. I think you know what I'm saying. Now, what I found is people are looking for the silver bullet, the things that they think that are so effective against the system, when in reality it's not the system, it's you. So I thought it would pass on a little bit of stuff that I've found through the years, and it may help you in your life. In reality, it's you that is the problem, and you don't think correctly. Someone is administrating you somewhere. Even if you did all the documents that people have that you donate for, and I can mention a whole bunch of people, probably 30 or 40 or 50 throughout the world. And I'm sure that you've ran into bits and pieces here and there, and I'm trying to clarify what I believe about all of it. What I believe is you should study everything before you do one document, before you do the first thing, because you're going to do documents and you're going to look and appear radical to everyone, even your family members. They're going to think you're crazy. You know, when I first started showing people about taxes, I found out taxes were voluntary. And there's specific forms if you fill out, they'll honor what you're actually trying to position you're trying to present. They'll honor it if you do the correct thing. But people get in their own minds that they found something and that that's the true way to do it without actually doing research. You know, like for example, I researched one time about 6 months a set of audios from Franco Collins from Australia, if you've ever heard of him, about just doing a executor or a great seal on your documents. And I researched about 3-4 hours a day for 180 days just on how to do a seal. So that's not the typical person that's out there. Now, as I went through all of these documents and found all these rabbit holes and all these pieces of the puzzle that people had, you know, from Winston Shroud to Anna von Reitz to April LeJeune to Tazi Dot, you know, just all these people, Brandon Adams, Carl Lentz, you know, just to name a few. Brilliant, brilliant people. You know, Tammy Pepperman, outstanding lady. You know, and every one of them had a piece of the puzzle that made me who I am. And I instilled in myself these basic principles from these people. Did I go out and file and do all their documents? No, I didn't. I learned, and I stopped and I pondered what's the best thing for me, and I started correcting me. And I understood that the Constitution doesn't apply to me unless I create my own, and you should do the same thing. The Bill of Rights, that's not squat. The only person that's going to uphold that is you. The only person that's going to make anything be honorable about any of that is you, because you understand and you have done your total research and you've let it absorb into your mind, body, and soul, and you've done that paradigm shift in your mind, and you understand you're a man or a woman. Now, any of these positions that any of these people offer are fantastic. If it's for you, it's there, it's credible, but is it for you? Are you in line the way you should be in line? I can't tell you if you are or not. You have to come up with your own direction in life, and you have to create your own documents. Now, it's not a bad thing to use people's documents if you fully understand what it's about and what you're about. If you get someone's documents and you put them in and you put your name on it, do you know it inside out, upside down, backwards, frontward? Do you know it in every direction? Is this in your heart, mind, and soul? Do you live this every step you take in life? If you don't, you need to go back and refigure, start from the beginning, and don't go to the silver bullet that's clear down at the other end where you shouldn't be. Don't get any issues. Solve your issues the day they happen or they're presented to you, to prevent any further destruction or to get you into an argument or a position that you don't wish to be in, because it will suck you in like you would never believe. Well, maybe you would believe. There's been people that's lost their children, their homes, their families, all their money, all their retirement, and it's horrible. So getting involved in the system and putting in documents, are you getting their position or their permission, or are you giving them notice that that's who you are? Did you put in, 200 documents in a year, or did you put in 2 or 3 because it was right? Did you overwork this? Did you overthink this? Do you put yourself in a sovereign capacity, a citizen capacity, a defendant capacity? What are you playing? Which game are you playing? Or are you not playing a game and you're a man or a woman and you do what a man or a woman would do? Now these are my ideas of how if you're trying to correct yourself, or if you're trying to correct the system. If you're trying to correct the system, you're probably not going to get very far. If you're trying to correct yourself and then correct the system a little bit, you're probably going to have success. If you're going to put in document after document after document after document, trying to ram it down their throat, you're going to lose. They are not going to know what to do. They don't understand where you're coming from, and you'll be labeled a radical, a sovereign, whatever else they might want, an animal, a corporation, a person. The best thing to do is start with definitions. Look at definitions. See if you know what you think you really know. You're going to find out you don't know. And it's very interesting when you do figure it out. So these are just my thoughts, and I hope that this helps you out in some way. We'll talk to you soon.